Folks, you may or may not be aware, you're probably aware if you're a fan of this show, that a lot of weird shit's going down on Twitter. It was bought by an awful man.
I just heard about this guy for the first time. Wow.
It's a real bad way. Everything's going crazy. It's going nuts over there. Everyone's saying, I want the Sickos to weigh in on this. What are they going to say? We need the Sickos take. We need their classic their classic wisdom and insight on this scenario, which is obvious. It's right up their alley, to be quite honest.
Yeah, and we heard you, and that's why we released an episode, which is that essentially it was about how there's a guy in Chicago who likes video games where you dig down.
Yeah.
That was our pitch to you while Twitter burned.
Yeah, it kind of felt a little like, when I was watching the episode go live, and I'm like, no, I definitely believe in this episode. It is funny, but
Right. It reminds me of that sketch I never was able to write, which is like the newspaper on 9/12 that doesn't run 9/11 as a covered story. Like, it's so obvious.
Dude, how long have you been sitting on this sketch concept?
Since I've been like 13.
Okay, well, okay. Well, now we got to come up with like 5 more sketch concepts, and I'll write an Oops All Sketches 2 episode, including fucking that. God damn. Anyway, the point being, we realized, mea culpa. We didn't beat the moment, but we're here now to give you guys exactly what you came to hear, which is specifically, drum roll, a cold open about how I got fucked over at the airport. Woohoo! 10 minutes minimum, folks. Strap in for a story.
And we'll then get to Twitter, but this has to get out of him.
Yeah. So I was going to visit my in-laws, yeah? They live in Spain, because I often talk about how going to Spain to visit them, but they came to America, which they very rarely do, which we could not afford not to visit them while they were in the States, because that's a lot less money than going to Spain. So we went to fucking North Carolina, where they were staying, and would you believe, not a lot of nonstop flights from Chicago O'Hare to fucking Wilmington, North Carolina, or Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. The place where we were going was equidistant between the two. Only airline that has nonstop flights from O'Hare to either of those places is a Spirit Airlines. And you can tell by the fact that I said that there's going to be a 10-minute story about how I got fucked over, and then I said Spirit Airlines. You can kind of fill in the blanks already yourself. The outline is starting to form in your mind, listener. I thought Spirit Airlines, I know they suck, but nonstop flight. Only option I have for a nonstop flight. I don't want to lay over for like a fucking hour and a half flight. Are you kidding me? Mm-hmm. And it is very cheap. And also, we're not going to be going that long. And there is a fucking washing machine where we're going. So we don't need a lot. We can just have a backpack, We're not going to be checking any bags. So all those fees that I know they're going to try to get me with, I'm not going to pay any of them, because why would I do it? I don't need, I'm not going to pay the fees. So, checkmate, I win. There's not all the things that are terrible about Spirit Airlines. We're gonna transcend them. It's not gonna happen to us.
You parried them.
Yeah, I perfect parried them. I said to myself, things will never get bad or fucked up. I will never fall off the Zeppelin.
I've never flown Spirit because I haven't had to. I know it was bad. Part of me, for some reason, believes that there's a section in the back that's standing only, but that's probably not true, right?
Joe, that's a myth. What you're thinking of is there's a big bag that trails behind the airplane that's attached to it with a big rope, and you can be loaded into the bag. They do give you a Spirit branded jacket so that you don't get too cold.
Cool.
But I wasn't in the bag. I was in the actual plane. Or I would like to have been. Dun, dun, dun. Folks, we got to the airport early as hell. We are at an 11:20 flight, meaning that we are set to board at 10:50, and we got to the airport at 9. Oh man, it was so smooth getting to the airport. It usually takes a lot longer. We felt like fools. We got to the security line. Misnomer, wasn't no line. We just went right through. In O'Hare? That's crazy. We're making such time. We go to the place where we need to go for the Spirit Airlines, the gates. Now, what gate do I got to go to? Well, I know that my fucking boarding pass says the gate is L11. And I am like, well, I printed this yesterday, so it could be that the gate has changed. You know what I'll do? I'll check on the big board. You know how they have the big board that has all of the departures for that section of the airport? Yeah, I went to the big board. There weren't that many flights. I'd say there was like 10 listed for this little Spirit Airlines subsection. I'll look at Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, 1120. L11. Oh, shit, that's the same gate that I have on my boarding pass, L11. Excellent. I'm like, you know what? I'll check it a third time. I look up the flight number on my phone. I search it in Google. I see that Myrtle Beach, 11:20, on time, L11. Now I know it's L11. The fact that I'm really choosing to emphasize this should probably give you a little hint about what's going to happen. I go to L11. Now it's a big hallway, yeah, and L11 is at like the fucking cul-de-sac at the end where there's like 4 gates that are just like jammed into the fucking end of the hallway, which means that this is the crowdedest place in the sort of terminal. Because you have, this is the amount of space that usually would be for 2 gates, and it's got 4 gates worth of people. So it's crowded as hell. We noticed that all of the TVs in this area, this like cul-de-sac area where there's the 4 gates, you know how there's TVs up at the gates that show like where they're going and if it's delayed or not and who's boarding and who's on standby and who got an upgrade, all that shit. All those TVs for these 4 gates are turned off. That's odd, but Spirit Airlines sucks. Maybe they're just all broken. I assume, they're broken because this is a shitty airline. But it doesn't matter because I know that our gate is L11. And this is just before Halloween. And I didn't know that people traveled on Halloween to have drinking events, but they fucking do. There was one woman who was talking with a very loud and annoying group. I remember this woman because she was wearing a sweater that said thick thighs and spooky vibes. And I turned to my wife very angry and said, she does not have thick thighs. She was stealing thick-thighed woman valor. It was honestly ridiculous. But the point being, we're fucking there. It's L11. We're a bit further away because, again, it is very crowded. But we're at L11. There are gate agents there. We're waiting. And, I'm checking it's still on time. Now, every once in a while, there will be a PA announcement. The PA system in this part of the airport is fucking non-functional. It is unhearable, and then also on top of it being unhearable, just so blown out and feedbacky. We can't make it out because even if it did work, because we're in the loudest fucking group of party people who are also coughing the wettest, goopiest coughs I've ever heard in my life. Would you believe that they're not only masked, but they are just like not even covering their mouths? We were actually sitting down in one place where we were just sitting and across from us were 2 men who were working on their laptops. And when they would cough, they would just like, their eyes didn't even close. They just kept doing what they were doing. Like they were in an idle animation of guy working at laptop. We got up and moved because fuck that. And also we didn't get sick because we're moral. Anyway, the PA comes on. We can't fucking hear it. It's inaudible. My wife is like, "Does that have to do with us?" And I'm like, "Well, no, because I have eyes on the gate agents at L11. I'm looking at them right now, and they're not fucking talking. I can tell that they don't pick up the phone. None of them saying anything. So that's not where the announcement's coming from. And I know that that means that there's not anything that has to do with us because our gate is L11. And I can tell that it's L11 because my boarding pass says L11 and I check the big board and it says L11 and I check on my phone and it also says L11. Now, the time comes that we should be boarding and we can see that there's a plane, at the gate. So that's good. We see like people going in and out, like employees, like maybe like the people who clean the plane, but we're not boarding yet, even though, it's time to do it. But, I'm not worried. This is Spirit Airlines. I know they delay sometimes. I know they're shitty, like whatever. It'll be a little bit delayed. We were planning on getting there at like 1, maybe we'll get there at 2. So what? Doesn't matter. We'll just wait. So we wait a bit, and it's starting to get a little concerning because it's getting to be, 11:10, 11:15, 11:20. Oh, 11:20. That's when we're supposed to take off. Are they going to start boarding? I'm looking. I'm staring at the gate agents, waiting for them to say something. They're not. I'm like, well, L11. I mean, did we get delayed? So I checked the board. It still says on time. Still says L11. Myrtle Beach, 11:20. Okay. I sigh. And then someone comes up to us. This is not someone who's been waiting there the whole time. This is someone who just walked up. And they look at this whole scenario and scoff, like, can you believe this? And they ask us, are you telling me they still haven't started boarding for New Orleans?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yes. So I'm going to just do a quick review of the facts here. You didn't want to go to New Orleans.
I did not.
Yeah.
I did not. We reacted much the same way as you did just now, Joe. And we're like, we're going to Myrtle Beach. Someone who overheard said, oh, yeah, Myrtle Beach is L9. We said, what? Because there was no way for us to know that. The TVs were off, as I already said. I checked fucking constantly that L11 was our gate. I was watching L11 for any announcements. And they're like, oh, yeah, it was L9. Yeah, they boarded. We say, what? We rush over to L9, which, to be clear, is right there. Like, I'm staring at L11 the entire time. And if I turn my head like 5 degrees to the side, there's L9. We rush to L9. Buddy. No gate agents, door locked, jetway pulling away from the airplane as it backs away. We got to our fucking gate 2 hours early, sat there attentive and ready to take in information the entire time, and we missed our fucking flight.
Basically, every time you've left Chicago, this happens. Some version of this happens. You're the cursed traveler.
Air travel is a curse. And every single time my wife and I make travel plans, it's like going to be like, this time, we are not going to get fucked. We are not going to wait in the airport all day, and we are not going to arrive at our destination at fucking midnight. And
you're not going to get even one of those.
Yeah, not one. All of them. Every time. So, Joe, there is one other person who is in the same boat as us, who did not know that L9 was the gate and who missed boarding. It is a woman who appears to be in her 50s, possibly 60s. This is, again, 11:30 in the morning. She is falling down drunk. And I'm not exaggerating, because she did fall down several times in our presence.
What a cool lady.
She's like, what? What's going on? What's happening? We explain, turns out it was at L9. They fucking boarded and are gone. We missed the flight. She starts to break down, and she's like, oh my God, what can we do? And we're like, let's go to the Spirit Airlines help desk.
So she joined your party at this point?
She did join my party. Wait, that's not. That's the Final Fantasy Won a Battle theme. I don't remember the theme in Dragon Quest when you get a new party member. Dun 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 dun. That happened.
It's a little too long, like the tune when you... It's very funny how long it is.
It really is. Like, I was playing... If you're playing with the sound off, which sometimes you do if you're traveling or whatnot...
Like, what the fuck is happening?
You
is
think
the game frozen?
Yes. Anyway, she joined the party. There was no one at the help desk. It just wasn't there. And she's like, my husband's a Spirit Gold member. I'll call him and he'll figure it out. We sit down and she's going to call her husband. Me and my wife and I are both like, well, this is not going to fucking pan out at all, because a Spirit Gold member just basically means like when they say fuck you, they also won't spit on you. Like, that's what gold privileges is on Spirit. She calls her husband. He is like, hey, what's up? She misrepresents the core problem. She's like, I missed the flight to Myrtle Beach. He's like, what? How did you miss it? And she's like, they boarded early and I missed it. And we had to be like, no, I actually boarded on time. It was just for a different gate, but they didn't announce that it was a different gate, and they didn't label which gate was which because the TVs were off. And also they didn't update the big board. The big board, by the way, at this point, we're so fucking livid. We checked the big board. It still says L11 for Myrtle Beach. We checked the flight number on my phone. It still says L11. And her husband is very nonplussed. He's like, what do you want me to do? And she's like, you're a gold member, they have to listen to you. He's just like, listen to me about what? And she says, she starts to break down and it's like, honey, I've been at the airport for 12 hours. I think she had missed an earlier flight as well, or possibly got canceled. No. I'm in the airport for 12 hours. This vacation isn't a vacation anymore. And we can sort of hear the husband on the cell phone, like, faintly. But after she says this vacation isn't a vacation anymore, we can hear him so clearly go, well, that's not my fault. And we fucking crack up. But anyway, we decide, you know what we got to do? The husband's a dead end. She hangs up. We gotta go to the fucking ticketing agent at like the front of the airport, because that's like the only place that we're gonna know that there are Spirit employees, because there's no fucking one at the help desk. And so we decide to go there, which is a long walk, which is a problem because I say this woman is falling down drunk. She's also wearing humongous platform shoes. She will not fucking leave. She's stuck to us like glue. And
she's still with you, right?
Yes. In addition to wearing huge tippy platform heels, and falling down drunk, she's also carrying a mystery bag. Now, Joe, this is like one of those canvas bags that like hippies bring to the grocery store. Yeah, this is like this is like a two-handled bag that you swing over your shoulder or hold in your hand for like a loaf of bread and some fucking eggs and broccoli. It is not an airport bag. I never discover what's in this bag, but it weighs like 100 pounds. It's so fucking heavy. She's constantly talking about how heavy it is. She is constantly like losing the strength it takes to hold it up, and is being lurched forward as it like falls to the ground, just barely keeping upright, and then wrenching it back up. And in the process of wrenching it, she has to throw her weight backwards, which makes her almost fall backwards. She keeps saying, "Oh, this is so heavy! What a heavy bag! Can you believe how heavy this bag is?" And
I can't believe you didn't crack and ask Lady what's in it. You have to tell me.
We offered so many times, like, do you want us to carry your bag? And she says, no, I'm not going to be a burden on you. No,
I'd much rather loudly complain and struggle behind you for the next 12 hours.
We get to the help desk and we're waiting, the ticketing desk rather, not the help desk. We get to the ticketing desk, we're waiting in line. As we're standing totally still, the woman falls completely over. We try to help her up. She doesn't she doesn't want to be a burden, so she doesn't try to take our hands to get pulled up right away. Instead, what she tries to do is pull herself up using the tension barriers that make up the line.
No.
So we see this is about to happen and anchor the little thingies, but she was about to just knock all that shit down by pushing down on it as though it was a railing that would help her get up.
So you stomped on the base to make it not cave into her grab?
Yeah, it would more like we grabbed the top parts and held them from tipping over. And then someone else was like, you can't do that, let me help you. And then she got up. And the point being, so we get to the front of the line and it's our turn. And I'm just going oh my God, please don't come up with us. Please don't come up with us. She came up with us. Yeah. Because this is a scenario where what is needed is tact, calmness, and precision. I need to not be upset. I need to tell exactly the facts of what has happened. and I need to not editorialize. Because in these situations, if you get freaked out, if you're yelling, if you're editorializing the facts with like, you guys are so incompetent.
Yeah, I've been here for X amount of hours. You will stumble and say something wrong.
Yeah, you don't want to do any of that. You just want to stick to the precise facts and get to the solution as quickly as possible. There is no need to bring emotion into this, especially as the ticketing agent did not do any of it.
And don't misunderstand us. We don't believe that being tactful will always solve the problem. A lot of times you're just fucked, but in this case, you might as well try.
So, would you believe that having the drunk wailing woman is a handicap in this scenario? Especially because I go up there and I explain the scenario. I explain, hello, we intended to get on this flight. The flight number is this flight. It was set to leave at 11:20 at gate L11. And I know that because it was on the boarding pass, and it was on the big board, and it was on the internet. However, because there was no labeling on the gates, I was not aware that it had changed to L9, and then we missed the flight. Is there any way that we can get on another flight, or possibly receive a refund? And then this drunk woman started braying similar but inaccurate details that she half remembered. The ticketing agent looks at us and her, and she's like, is she with you? And we're like, no, but the same thing happened to her. And she's like...
That was a very diplomatic way to put it. That was nice.
Yeah, but she gives us a look as though like she should wait in line for her turn, but like it's not happening. It just won't. It just won't occur. There's no way to make her do that. Anyway, this scenario clearly is outside of the norm, so this lady doesn't really know what to do. Which, fair enough. I wouldn't know what to do in her shoes either. So she calls over a manager. This lady, she's like, everyone respects her. Clearly, like, she had the bearing of the boss who knows it all. She calls her over and explains what happened. This manager lady is like, huh? Oh, yeah. She looks at the screen for a little bit, and then she looks at us and says, these boarding passes were old. The gate was changed all day. You just didn't check. It was always L9. We are like, no. The fucking big board said L11. My phone says L11. She's like, when did you load that? It's probably old. And I'm like, no.
You refreshed it constantly.
I refreshed it right then in front of her, and she saw it load in as L11, and she just, no, it's L9. And we're like, okay, so you're just lying. So you're a liar. We don't actually say that. That's in our heads. And I'm like, okay, this is not getting anywhere, obviously. How can we fucking get to Myrtle Beach? Okay, just like, how can we get there? And the manager lady just shakes her head and says, only go to Myrtle Beach once a day, and she leaves. This is devastating for us because we were leaving on a Sunday and we're going to work remote there. So we didn't take any days off of work. So if we can't go today, we can't go because we'd have to take a day off work that we didn't like ask for. This is devastating. We're starting to feel our stomachs drop. What a wasted day and a wasted week. Like, all the days at home that we're going to spend are going to be so hollow because we're going to be like, we should be there. We should be visiting family. This sucks. So the manager lady leaves and we're just like devastated. And the ticketing agent lady, we notice she has an odd look on her face, like she isn't sure how to broach what she's about to broach. And I'm like, but why? Like, what's there left to say? And she's just like,
I know who did 9/11.
Yeah. No, she says, do you want to get on the second flight to Myrtle Beach? And we're like, what? And like, yeah, we do 2 flights to Myrtle Beach every day.
Are you serious? Well, yeah. This woman just wanted to punish you.
Yeah, the manager lady was a huge liar. She just loves pain. Oh, dude. And so we're like, yeah, we do. It's at 7. So we have to wait at the airport all day. It's delayed for an hour. As we're waiting for, to get on the plane. And I noticed that the gate we're at, which is L like 5 or something, it has the TV on and it says delayed on the TV, and like it's the time crossed out and the new time crossed in. And I'm like, I wonder. And so I go to check the big board, and the big board still has it on time. And I'm like, Oh, that's it. They never fucking update the big board. Oh, that explains everything. And then I go to like get something to eat, and in doing so, I walk in the area of those 4 gates, L11 and L9 included. Show they had the TVs on. They weren't broken at all.
They just had to create like a situation where you would step on a bunch of rakes and then hang out with your new mom.
Yep. Oh, shit. I will say that we did lose the drunk woman because, and this is the funniest shit in the world. We were in the line, yeah? And she's moaning and groaning and hanging on. And she turns around and she sees that there are 2 women behind us in line who have stylish jackets. And she's been like moaning and groaning and weeping and wailing the entire time she's been with us. She sees these 2 women, and it's like a fucking halo appears behind her head, and like a choir, like, ah. She is overjoyed, and she's just like, I love your jackets. And she walks over to talk to them. We finish up at the fucking gate, and we are out of there, and we don't see her again. Thank fuck. Actually, we do see her again. She's on the plane, but she doesn't notice us. And then we got where we were going at like 1 in the goddamn morning. Fuck this shit. Fuck air, fuck Spirit. Never take them.
I haven't, and I'm not going to.
The way back, our Spirit Airlines flight was canceled like an hour before we were about to go to the airport. But that wasn't their fault. It was because Chicago was experiencing an incredible like once a year windstorm. What's about to be a lot more than once a year, but this year it's once a year. And planes couldn't land in it. I will say, though, this I have to shout this out. This story isn't very interesting. We had to book that morning a 3-leg flight back home. We did it on American because fuck Spirit. But it was Wilmington to Charlotte, Charlotte to D.C., D.C. to Chicago. It was going to take all day. And we noticed that the layovers, especially Charlotte to D.C., was so slim to the point where like if like there were enough people who just took a jillion years taking their overhead baggage out of the bins, like there are, like if there was just a higher than average amount of those, we'd miss the flight just because it was that tight. Like, and we're just thinking to ourselves, like, you know what, we're probably gonna have to spend the night at the Charlotte airport hotel. You know, whatever, who fucking cares? We've been through enough. However, at the Wilmington airport, we noticed that at the same fucking time as our flight from Wilmington to Charlotte, there's a flight from Wilmington to DC. And we're just like, oh shit. And I go to the gate agent there and I'm like, hey, can we be on this flight? Look at our itinerary. It'd be much better to go straight to DC and then from DC to Chicago. Can we be on it? And this guy, Joe, is this person is like one of angels among us. Angels among us. This is not a human being. This is an emissary of God. His name was Ben. He was a beautiful little twink who looked like he was 18 years old. He had that that Jonathan Taylor Thomas haircut where it's like parted down in the middle. And it has like little, it has the little poofs at the top and then like little curtains of hair on either side of his face that every once in a while he has to take both hands and flip them back at the same time so that he can type. And this little twink set us right up and got us home on time. I just need to call him out. Ben at the Wilmington airport. What a king. We love you, Ben. You ever come to Chicago? Dinner's on us.
Yeah, he seems pretty cool.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Anime Sickos. It's the podcast for geniuses and the only podcast where we take a look at the 4 pillars of modern misery: anime, gaming, posting for now, and jobs. I am Tom in Anime Sicko.
I am Joe in Anime Sicko.
Now, before we get to what you want to hear, more fucking shit. We have patrons. Our newest patron, We got 4 of them. First one's Alexander Arnold. Thank you, Alexander.
Cool, 2 first names. Thank you.
Alliterative, too. Next up, Mr. Boop. Is it the real one? I don't know.
Like from the famous comics?
I mean, could be. I mean, you can put anything you want in the Patreon name. You could put, like, Akira Toriyama in there. They're not going to come get you. I hope it's the real Mr. Boop. The Mr. Boop comic's funny, dude.
Yeah, they are.
If it's the real Mr. Boop, thanks. If it's some other guy, still thanks.
Yeah.
Our next up is Zach Caton. Zach Caton. Caton.
Thank you, Zach.
Yeah, I know how to pronounce that one. Zach is normal. And our final new patron, that's going to be Previous Winter. The previous winter was pretty cold.
Thank you for your money.
Listener, I'm going to have cut out the pause, but Joe had like a long pause trying to think up some like follow up to that stupid line.
What can be said?
Anyway, that's all.
So, the thing we're obviously going to talk about is that Twitter's on fire. It's an interesting event, internet-wise. Like, even if you don't use Twitter, what is happening should be of interest, because we have one of the few social media platforms just being, like, utterly destroyed.
Yeah.
Very quickly.
We talk about how, like, there's only 5 websites.
Well, now there's 4.
Yeah. Whoa. Especially sucks because posting is like most of what we talk about.
Yeah, it was one of the 4 pillars, and although 3 pillars, if they're arranged in like a triangle shape, like it can kind of hold stuff. I don't know. So when things first started clearly going downhill, like when he fired everyone, I was a little, I don't know, despondent, not because like Twitter is inherently good and deserves to be saved, but it's just like, okay, this is where we built an audience. This is where our followers are. This was our word of mouth engine. So I did sort of like start to mope on that front at the idea that could be all for naught, that sort of thing, as everyone does a mass exodus. And then we had a conversation with a friend of the show and former guesto, Taylor Moore, and I've completely 180'd. What is actually happening is Twitter is the funniest it's ever been. This is the best time to splash in the toilet. So for $8, he is letting people be a verified OJ and saying, yeah, I did that shit. That's wonderful. I can't believe I called him a bad businessman in the past.
It is, I gotta say, Twitter has become appointment viewing. I mean, before it was just like posting is posting. I like posting. I like reading the jokes. It's a dopamine drip. But you know, like it was the same thing as like having The Office playing in the background while you cook. It's like I don't really like The Office that much, but it's fine, and like
it's
there
comforting.
are good jokes. Yeah, familiar. You know the beats. Every once in a while, a really good joke, but you know, I don't care. Now Twitter is like now it's like Twitter's like Succession every day, except Kendall gets hit with the groin with a football every episode. It really, I mean, what it is, as we know, the main character of Twitter is a big part of the Twitter experience. How every day there is a main character.
And it's supposed to be a mom that is overprotective or a dad that has some weird shit about beans. It's supposed to change.
It's supposed to change. And the idea is that being the main character is the worst thing that can happen to you. We are in a situation where the richest, dumbest man in the world, Elon Musk, the man who made a child coffin to try to save children who were trapped in a cave.
They didn't work.
Yeah, they were like, this is a child coffin that will never work. Please leave, sir. And then he told that the guy who did save the children that he was a pedophile.
And then the court was like, yeah, he is. You didn't lie or whatever. He got out of
what?
Yeah, the for real, the defamation suit against Elon looked like a slam dunk, but the lawyer chunked it.
No way. No, he wasn't. He wasn't right.
No, he wasn't right in the sense that like he was, but the court was just like, yeah, you hurt Elon's feelings.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, so the dumbest, stupidest man of all time has, at great personal cost, installed himself as the permanent main character of Twitter, and he will stay the main character day after day because he continually exposes how much this hurts. It's like, it's so much like when the Queen died and there was that British guy who's like, many Americans think it's funny to make fun of this scenario, but what they don't understand is that many British people are crying and shitting right now. It's like, you may think it's funny to pants me, but you aren't aware that I am very shy and I was just in the pool. It's like, that makes it funnier. Don't you get it? It's like, don't you bully me. It works. And it's like, what? Huh? Okay. It's so fucking good. I'm gonna go through the hits of what has been happening, just so that this can be a sort of a historical document, but so people can listen to this later on and be like, what was happening back then? What was it like? I think it's very funny that when this all started, when he finally did purchase the company, the first thing that he led with, his big thing was power to the people. Finally, people are gonna have the power. Which doesn't make any sense unless you understand that Elon is one of those guys whose entire opinion about social media is wrapped up in the concept of shadow bans.
Yeah. Shadow bans are great. They're a very fun thing to worry about because you have some great disservice being done to you because you are owed more attention on the computer.
Yeah.
And it's very funny because it affects celebrities and normal uncles alike.
These are guys who think it when they post something on the internet and they get any reaction other than damn, you got a point.
That's a shadow ban.
Yeah, the only explanation is the wokeists have conspired to shut me down.
I guess we have a two-pronged problem, which is revenue is going down, so he doesn't know what to do. So his value offer is his $8 verification check mark.
Mm-hmm. Which that's part of his power to the people thing. And this and again, it goes into shadow banning. The idea that the blue check equals power is such a dumb uncle move. Because it fucking doesn't. The only reason you would think the blue check equals power is if you think that the blue checks as a group are a cabal of libs who are involved in deciding who gets shadow banned. Right. And that's the only, you have to have that as a prerequisite in order for this blue check power the people thing to make sense. In order for the $8 blue check to be anything other than a status symbol that shows I'm a fucking mark, is if you believe that the blue checks are in charge of suppressing free thinkers.
It's really interesting because dunking on blue checks is, I always felt, sort of extension of the fuck the mods mindset. Mm-hmm. In purely posting terms, but the framing here is no, they actually ruled the world.
Yeah. We make fun of blue checks, and not because we think that the blue checks are again wielding the power of the shadow ban to take cat turds' great insights and keep them from the populace who needs them.
That's the thing that made me feel crazy, because if a guy takes over a company that is worth whatever, how many billions of dollars, and he's replying to a guy named Cat Turd, what are you doing?
The whole thing puts the lie to the idea that money makes you happy, because this guy, Elon's got so much money, and he's the maddest man in the universe, and it does have to get to you to realize that all of your friends and allies are the dumbest fucking idiots on the planet. Named Cat Turn. Anyway, We make fun of the blue checks not because we think they're a shadowy cabal. It's because we know that the people who are prominent in the media, who therefore will get verification check marks because they deserve to, because a prominent media personality needs to be verified. We know that those people are fucking stupid. They just are.
Yeah, we believe their power comes from their position, not the fact that they have a blue check mark.
Yeah. But now you can buy. Well, actually, it didn't used to be $8 a month. Fucking was $20. But then the famous shit happened where Stephen King says $20 a month to keep my blue check. Fuck that. They should pay me. If that gets instituted, I'm gone like Enron. Elon says we need to pay the bills somehow. Twitter cannot rely entirely on advertisers. How about $8?
Oh, business mindset. Used to be Gil from The Simpsons.
Come on! Come on! Like, yeah, that's how you inspire confidence. Being like, please. God damn it. I should also mention, like, I couldn't post during, like, the heat of this. During, like, the meat of this whole scenario. I was in Twitter jail.
Yeah, they put you in the hot box because you came in too hot.
Yeah, so... Elon says something effective like, free speech is back, baby. Comedy is legal again on Twitter. Which we got to talk about how he's the least funny human in the entire fucking universe. And to say comedy is legal again on Twitter. Fuck you. But I replied to him saying, so am I allowed to tell you to kill yourself, or am I still shackled for my beliefs? And I got suspended for a week, which is very funny because that means like one of the 3 remaining content moderators looked at my tweet personally. And especially funny because I didn't even type out the word kill. I did KYS, and they got that anyway.
You were asking too. You were the guy from the haunted house sketch in I Think You Should Leave. It says, I don't want anyone to have the worst day at their job. I just want to know if any of these fuckers
are allowed to come out of the wall and say, I hope Elon Musk shoots himself. Do you know what? Any of these fuckers ever come out of the wall and say, hey, Elon, you remember the combination of your gun safe? I hope so. God damn. He's so sad. He is so mad every day. Let me find some examples of him being the saddest little guy.
I thought the location change to hell was in that category.
Wait, he changed his location to hell?
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes. He's constantly doing the cry laughing emoji, which I love because like that. There's no better example of like I'm not mad, I'm actually laughing than that.
Actually, I would love to see a brain scan of my brain and you show me different emojis, and when you do the tilted crying one, there's for sure going to be some weird rage response.
Yeah.
My brain will light up.
Oh my god. Oh, here's an example of him being fucking sad. So Stephen King, like yesterday, said, I think I liked Twitter better in the pre-Musk days. Less controversy, more fun. Well, that is provably wrong, Stephen. It's more fun now. But I understand why someone would like it better before before there was the Thunderdome.
Yeah.
Elon replies with a ghost emoji, I imagine because he is faintly aware that Stephen King writes horror. And then, I'm still a fan of you, to be honest.
Did he also throw in that one emoji that's used to denote like a horny bottom? I hate that face.
No.
When he's like looking up.
No, he didn't go that far. But it's so please like me. It's so just like, but can't like, but you can still be friends, right? Like the emoji's not there, but it is in spirit. It's so pathetic. I love that he's sad. Oh, this is some shit that blew my mind. I know it's not this. The narrative I'm about to say is not what it is, but it could be. It's not falsifiable. This happened. This was our buddy Medley who did this. You remember he went Guesto mode ages ago. He kicks ass. Some person, some verified person, a writer of some type, it doesn't matter who, had a post that was to the effect of like, I'm having a hard time putting my feelings into words about this because it's very complex, but it just feels weird to me seeing the entire internet dedicated to bullying an autistic man. And it's complicated because like he's not a good person. You know, being autistic doesn't make you good, and like he is, like Elon is a bad person, but just it feels a little weird to me. And Medley replied, "Billionaires lose human status. Them's the breaks." It got 1 like from the original poster, and then the original poster deleted the post. And I want so badly for what has happened was they saw it, were like, oh, okay, well that explains everything, and like I don't have this tension in my mind is gone.
Yeah, I've resolved these contradictions.
Yeah, he is not a human being. He is a business entity.
He's an avatar of wealth.
Yes, he's an avatar of wealth. Fuck. I want to read this other shit that he said. This is a post that he wrote. Twitter has had a massive drop in revenue due to activist groups pressuring advertisers, even though nothing has changed with content moderation. And we did everything we could to appease the activists. Joe, I would pay $1,000 to force him to try to identify who the activists are.
You can just blame vague hypothetical leftists for like anything, and they're like, we tried to do a really good job on Twitter. However, a large group of radical activists who I will not speak any more details about somehow made us do a bad job.
It's, you know what, it's basically like, I now that I'm in charge, I'm the king of it, and I'm still getting shadow banned by the leftists. It's like, you can't say, like, that's not a tool in your fucking toolkit anymore, shadow banning, which is devastating for him because, like, the shadow banning is such a powerful tool in the idiot right-wing grifters toolbox because you can't prove that it's not happening. In fact, being an idiot and having bad posts makes it more believable. Because no one fucking likes you and no one's giving you praise. So it's like, look, it's because of shadow banning, and that riles up your base. But like he's trying to say he's being shadow banned now.
Yeah. I mean, this is one of the elements of fascism, is that you are simultaneously pounding your chest about how strong you are, but also you're like, there is an enemy that is going to destroy everything we've done, and we're on the verge of losing, and I'm so scared at the same time. That contradiction is alive and well with this.
Yeah, I have defeated all the blue hairs. I have snapped my Thanos finger, and all of the crying libs at Twitter have disappeared. Haha, I'm now powerful. However, these activist groups have destroyed us. I love that. Where was this? I think it was Hank Green. When Musk was haggling with Stephen King over the price of the fake blue check.
They were doing Swaparama. I really respect it.
Yeah, and Hank Green was like, this is really stupid. Let me see if I can find it, actually. And yeah, Hank Green came into the haggling and was like, you tweeted a conspiracy theory from a website less credible than the National Enquirer like 4 days ago. We need to look inward as well as outward. And Elon Musk says, and therefore Twitter should die? Which, very funny, because he responds to valid criticism from someone who is like speaking in a tone that is very much like he's not trying to dunk with this histrionic, like verge of tears thing. And what's a real killer, what really devastates me about and therefore Twitter should die, is because in a just world, I would get my week-long suspension, not from what I said before, but from what I wanted to post so bad, which was, no, but you should.
The thing that's also very funny to me is the time he's spending replying means that, like, I guess he thinks there's something that can be done, like his posting can somehow improve the situation.
Yeah, yes. Like, he's like, this is what kills me about, like, the yes men who are like, I wouldn't bet against Elon just yet. I bet he wouldn't do this without having vetted it and thought it through. And like, are you nuts? Of course he didn't vet it and think it through. Look at his posts.
The cars that are autopilot just don't drive on their own and kill people. What do you mean that he thinks things through?
It's like he's every day just going on and being like, actually, I found the tweet that really proves that this is fucking dumb. Because, like, he's just saying shit, like, on a fucking all hands. He's like, yeah, bankruptcy is probably going to happen. It's like, you don't say that to your fucking staff unless you are declaring bankruptcy now. And, like, someone's like, how are you going to get everyone, how are you going to fight attrition? And his answer was, I don't know, we got to get more hardcore. Like, this is not someone who's thinking things through. And this tweet is especially...
His answer there, if I can interject, is,
you can.
How are you going to stop attrition? And his response was, you're going to do it.
You got to stop being a pussy. Can you just be better?
Yeah.
Great manager, great business genius. But this is the tweet that really, like, how can anyone look at this and think that he has a plan? Please note that Twitter will do lots of dumb things in the coming months. We will keep what works and change what doesn't. Just like, hey, everybody, just so you know, we're gonna fuck up.
Yeah, what you want as an advertiser is confidence that the platform you are paying to have your stupid promoted tweets on isn't going to do a bunch of, quote, dumb stuff over the coming weeks. Like, that would spook advertisers. That would also, to me, indicate to my employees that, like, I expect this not to go well.
It's just... and just from, not even business, just from a leadership perspective, even if all you're leading is the fucking group for your group project in 5th grade,
there's no reason to just make everybody scared.
Why would you ever say, we will do dumb things? Oh my God, it would just hit me like a bolt of lightning. We always make fun of business books for being like, the one we always talk about is the one I saw in the elevator. Don't bullshit the client. And like what's even in that book? Like, when you're talking with a client, be good, don't be bad. Who would need to read that? Fucking Elon needs to read that. He's saying, in the future, we will not be good. We will be bad. And it's like, no, Elon, actually, that's bad management style. You want to be good and not be bad.
It's not clear what's intentional and what's incompetence. Like, he obviously knows how, because he has all this money from, obviously government subsidies, but his investment friends make a ton of money because they have what I believe I would describe as like some sort of AI or setup that can track like news headlines and use that to make predictive stock buys and sells, and it's made them very rich.
Mm-hmm.
All of that is to say, like, he does know how this kind of works. Like, if that's happening, right?
I think he's really overwhelmed. What rational part of his brain does exist, and I truly think this, is overwhelmed by the sort of emotional and culture war crusade that I think he's on. Because none of this makes sense unless it's personal. And it clearly is, because of how much he's posting, because of how much he wants people to like him. Like, we talked about how he's the least funny person in the world. And, like, he is, because there's no core to him. He is an entirely Reddit human being. Mm-hmm. He is just an accumulation.
He's a time capsule. It's very interesting.
He's an accumulation of old fucking memes that he has gathered, which it's impossible for someone like him to be like gather good memes, because like he's too big to actually see the landscape for what it is. Like, he has too many fucking hangers on being like, Elon, please.
You got to use these old Wojaks.
Yeah. And like, he keeps trying to be funny, which is so like, this is why I'm sad that the new rich guy is a Silicon Valley guy. I mean, there's a lot to say bad about like the old money people, But the old money people at least would, seeing Elon behave the way he is, say like, Elon, this is in very poor taste, and no longer invite him to like the ball, and that would devastate him. But like that doesn't happen anymore. Like
No, because it's computer money. Honestly, we need to bring back old money. Old money people would put like jewelry and oysters for all their whores.
Fuck. Jesus Christ. I guess they would do that. But like, yeah, he is so pathetic. Like, if you were a billionaire and you didn't get there by being a comedian, like, and even if you did, like Jerry Seinfeld shouldn't try to be funny anymore. He can't.
Is he a billionaire now? Has he crossed a billion?
I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked.
That'd be fun.
He still has ads on the buses, dude.
There's
bus.
The Chicago area bus ads for Seinfeld have not changed in 20 years. It's just a picture of Seinfeld going like, what?
Have you seen the kind of scenarios that he gets into on that show? I would be going, what, too? They're hair-raising. I think it's just so funny that like 20 years later, everyone still agrees, like, the best ROI for bus ad buy still
Seinfeld.
is Seinfeld.
Because everyone says it and thinks, oh, thank you for reminding me when Seinfeld is on today. I had forgotten.
It's good. Anyway, he's a pathetic little man. Actually, you know what I want to read? This is a excerpt from a 2017 profile on Elon Musk in Rolling Stone, and I really think this speaks to his desperate, howling need to be liked. And this makes my theory that this is all a personal thing make even more sense, because like he believes I'm not liked on Twitter because of shadow banning, because I'm a free thinker. Like, there's no way this is organic. Like, I am funny because I use the best memes, and I am epic, and so like I'm the only way that this isn't working for me is if there's a shadowy cabal of leftists, the blue checks. I need all of my freak followers who say, Elon, I love you, please buy my Bitcoin. I need them to have the blue checks, because then they'll be powerful. And I know that the blue checks are powerful because they don't like me, and I'm not getting the reward I'm owed from the computer, so they must be the ones doing it. And I'm gonna read this shit from Rolling Stone, and you're gonna be chilled to the bone. His children lean over the phone, looking at a table full of numbers that I don't understand. So his 13-year-old Griffin explains it to me. They're betting that the stock goes down, and they're getting money off that. But it went up high, so they lost an insane amount of money. They're jerks who want us to die, Musk elaborates. They're constantly trying to make up false rumors and amplify any negative rumors. It's a really big incentive to lie to and attack my integrity. It's really awful. He trails off, as he often does when preoccupied by a thought. I try to help. Unethical? He shakes his head and struggles with the right word, then says softly, hurtful. I'm continuing. Musk thinks for a while, begins to answer, then pauses. Actually, let me go to the restroom. Then I'll ask you to repeat that question. A longer pause. I have to unload some things from my mind. 5 minutes later, Musk still hasn't returned. Sam Teller, his chief of staff, says, I'll be right back. Several minutes after that, they both reappear and huddle nearby, whispering to each other. Then Musk returns to his desks. We can reschedule for another day if this is a bad time, I offer. Musk clasps his hands on the surface of the desk, composes himself, and declines. It might take me a little while to get into the rhythm of things. He then heaves a sigh and ends his effort at composure. I just broke up with my girlfriend, he says hesitantly.
Oh, no way. No way.
I was really in love, and it hurt bad. He pauses and corrects himself.
I shouldn't be alone right now.
Well, she broke up with me more than I broke up with her, I think. It gets worse. Musk discusses his breakup for a few more minutes, then asks earnestly, deadpan, is there anybody you think I should date? It's so hard for me to even meet people.
This is...
He swallows and clarifies, stammering softly, I'm looking for a long-term relationship. I'm not looking for a one-night stand. I'm looking for a serious companion or soulmate, that kind of thing. I eventually tell him that it may not be a good idea to jump right into another relationship. He may want to take some time to figure out himself and why his previous relationships haven't worked out in the long run. His marriage to writer Justine Musk, his marriage to actress Tallulah Riley, and his new breakup with actress Amber Heard. Musk shakes his head and grimaces. If I'm not in love, if I'm not with a long-term companion, I cannot be happy.
Oh, wow.
I explained that needing someone so badly that you feel like nothing without them is textbook codependence. Musk disagrees strongly. It's not true, he replies petulantly. I will never be happy without having someone. Going to sleep alone kills me. He hesitates, shakes his head, falters, continues. It's not like I don't know what that feels like. Being in an empty house and the footsteps echoing through the hallway, no one there, and no one on the pillow next to you. Fuck! How do you make yourself happy in a situation like that?
This is insane.
He is so desperate to be loved, and he cannot be because there's nothing in there. He is just a Reddit. He's just Reddit. You can't love Reddit.
And also, we know objectively because you and I, we've encountered these types of people in our life who believe that, like, oh, if I'm in a relationship, I'm happy then. Like, that's like a condition for happiness to them. And obviously, that's not the case. But the problem is when it's happening at this scale.
It's so fucking funny.
Yeah. On one hand, that amount of wealth would alienate anyone. Mm-hmm. On top of that, he's really weird.
It's very fucking weird. He's so fucked up. Oh, here's some other shit. Joe, this didn't really occur to me as something to note until it was pointed out by Campster, who is the guy who makes those errant signal videos. You ever watch those? They're pretty good. He talks about video games. Point being, one of the things that Elon talks about all the time is the bots and the trolls. Now, I thought this was just a Trumpism, because that's one of Trump's big things. The bots and trolls are out to get me. Haters and losers, bots and trolls, they're all the same. They're interchangeable.
My support is real. People who don't like me and my enemies' support, that's bots.
Yeah. Elon had a big poll that he did, a yes or no poll. The question was, are you seeing far fewer bots /scams/spam? And
what completely useless statement. Like a completely stupid poll question.
Yeah. And like, Joe, maybe, am I crazy here? This is just my experience. Let me know what your experience has been. Isn't it that like bots are so not a part of my Twitter experience? Like I never see bots. Like ever.
No.
Like they're not a thing. And so what I think is actually happening is Elon, whenever he posts, because he has 111 million followers, would you believe that a bunch of bots are like, please buy my Bitcoin, Mr. Musk? And he just thinks that is what Twitter is like for everybody.
Oh, wow. That's an interesting thought. Yeah, because there was always those Bitcoin giveaways in his replies.
Yeah, always like people from India being like, Mr. Musk, I love you. Please buy Bitcoins in India. Hey, please say that Doge is to the moon. And he's just like, yeah, that's everybody. Why wouldn't it be? And the funny thing about this, and this segues into a bunch of fun things that we can read, is some guy responds, because at this point, many things have happened. One is they rolled out the stupid fake Twitter Blue $8 check mark. And initially, you could have a second check mark that was a little ghost check mark that said official. That meant that you were a real verified guy. And then you could have an additional check mark, which means that you purchased another check mark.
So
that was
the direction this is going is we're going to be like decorated generals.
Yes. You're going to have a fucking chest full of epaulets and shit. That's not where epaulets go. They go on your shoulders. You know what I meant. It was exposed that was quite stupid. All of his yes men, when people were like, I can't believe you're rolling these changes out untested onto production instead of doing them internally and testing first. And all of his yes men were like, actually, it's a really smart business idea to move fast and break things. And every coder is like, no, it's not. Breaking things is actually, you're going to be shocked by this, quite bad. And then they're like, well, I don't think he would do this if he hadn't thought it through. Again, what's wrong with you? Anyway, but the point being, They took
so
that
much of
away.
my job is people being like, it's not going to production, right?
Yes. Yes. It's smart. They're right to ask that and be paranoid about that, because then you get shit like this. But they took away that second check mark because everyone thought it was very dumb. And it was. And then there was just the blue check mark that you paid for. And that's when a lot of geniuses had a great idea, which is, I'm going to pretend to be a brand. And so someone replies to this bots and scams post with, a verified Mario gave everyone the middle finger, and President Biden is talking about sucking his own penis. And Musk responds with 2 sideways cry laughing emojis, indicating that he is extremely upset.
Wait, or is he laughing so hard because Mario said those funny words?
It's just Mario flipping you off. And it was, Joe, I told you about this, and you didn't notice. And I actually don't know if it is on purpose. I really hope it is, because there is like an incredible like tesseract of joke energy hidden in the Mario giving the middle finger, which is so funny because it looks exactly like the real Nintendo Twitter account.
On spec.
It is indistinguishable. It's like, how was this allowed to happen? It's Mario flipping you off. However, the name of the handle of the Twitter account is Nintendo of America, but the actual username is Nintendo of US. And another way you can read that is Nintendoofus, which I love that. Nintendoofus, Nintendo of US. And someone replied to the fucking flipping off Mario being like, Mario would never do that. And they just responded, well, he did.
Well, he did. We're in charge.
Oh, fuck. Joe, can I read some of the funniest fake impersonating brand tweets that look so real?
You know, I thought everyone doing this would be like a real one-trick pony I would get over, but it hasn't happened yet. I love it.
Breaking. This is from Tesla. Tesla Real. This is the real Tesla. A second Tesla has just hit the World Trade Center. This one is from APAC, the Israel PAC, the super PAC for Israel and Israeli interests. And it says, verified, of course, so this is real. We love apartheid, so that's good to know. Glad that they're finally saying it. Eli Lilly and Company, the pharmaceutical giant, well, they're verified for one, and they have a post with 10,000 likes and 2,000 retweets where they are excited to announce that insulin is free now.
Oh, that's so nice of them to do that.
Oh, God, there was one from Lockheed Martin. We will be halting all weapons sales to Saudi Arabia, Israel, and the United States until further investigation into their record of human rights abuses. #WeAreLM. I bet Anna Mardal got devastated by that one because he was like, oh no, if Lockheed Martin's not going to be selling to Saudi Arabia, how am I going to make money at my job? Fuck. Oh, this one's from Chiquita Bananas, Chiquita Brands. We've just overthrown the government of Brazil. I think there was another one where like another fake brand. Yes, another second fake Chiquita account. We apologize to those who have been served a misleading message from a fake Chiquita account. We have not overthrown a government since 1954. This shit is so fucking funny. It is like in the future, you listening to this, it's hard for me to explain in words how thrilling it is to see these all come in real time. Because again, on first glance, it is impossible to tell that this is not the real thing. And his answer was, for a while, it's not, as of today, you can't fucking pay $8. It's not possible to pay $8 for a check in the US, which is amazing because that's the only revenue stream and they turned it off. You cannot tell that they're different, and it's so thrilling to see them come in because like it really does feel like you're at like a play and like a guy with a gun just got up on stage and it's like, I'm in the play now. Everyone has to yes and with me. And it's like, oh my God. And his answer to this being a major problem, perhaps the worst thing that could possibly happen if you want to get advertisers to trust your platform, was, we will simply have our moderation team of 8 people suspend all of the accounts that do this. And joke's on them, because we'll be keeping their $8. A cha-ching!
Which is $2 less than the Something Awful gig, so he couldn't even match that.
Someone else has pointed out that you could really very easily make a new bank account, get a new debit card, spend $8, do this shit, be Mario flipping someone off, get banned, call the bank and be like, I didn't make that charge. And they'll be like, okay, it's only $8, so not much of a fraud if this is fake. So yeah, no, we'll give it back. And well, then they don't have the $8. Then Twitter does not have it.
This is the virtual version of putting a coin in a vending machine, but you have a string tied to your finger and you yank it out at the end.
And the guy who owns the vending machine usually had major corporations giving him $10 million. But now he's like, well, we don't need that because we'll get a bunch of coins from the machine. And then it's like, oh, no.
Oh, we didn't even, we're talking about money, and we didn't even bring up what I think is the just most deranged thing that was thrown out there. Was just like, oh yeah, people are going to want to hook their debit cards up to Twitter. It's going to be a bank.
Yes, Twitter bank.
It's like you have a burning platform that is fleeing advertisers. So trust is low, and your pitch is, please give me your most confidential digits.
Don't worry, we have fired all of our security personnel. We do not have any safety officers. So obviously this is a great move for you.
I imagine there's also, is there still like Bitcoin wallet stealing? I haven't seen as much because the value of it has fallen off and all these things. But if that is still happening, this seems like a perfect storm situation.
I don't know. It's incredible. This is not super related. I just want to talk about this. Because this goes with Elon's entire sense of humor and personality is Reddit, which is to say, I have aggregated a bunch of epic things, and then I will deploy the epic things, and that's it. Mm-hmm. This is a post in our Elon Musk. Is there a counter meme to the weird nerd taking a bullet for Elon Simpson's meme? I was wondering if there's a good counter, something that turns the table. It's like their only method of like communication and humor is like, fuck. I have not aggregated something that refutes the Simpsons meme. And it's also very funny that like I need a counter to it because like it's clearly true. Like they know it's true.
They're talking about like it's a fighting game. Like what is my counter for that meme? Like I need to have something.
It's so fucking dumb. I hate this fucker. He's so stupid. Every day he pretends like he's not mad and he's like, today was pretty epic. Cry laughing emoji. Not funny.
I also have to wonder that, I mean, he's obviously gotten very good press coverage. Always. He's had lots of fawning tech press type deals. And
yeah, his whole thing is that he's the genius. He
I'm
was
Tony
in Star
Stark.
Trek as the genius.
Because so all those people that did those fawning pieces, will this cause introspection in any meaningful way? I don't know. If I did write a puff piece about how this guy is Tony Stark, and then I am seeing him haggle away revenue, I don't know, man.
I did see, I don't have it on me, but I did see someone say, like, I worked at TED Talks. I was an employee of TED Talks, and, like, I was in charge of, like, I was involved in Musk's TED Talks, and, like, TED as a company was, like, really hyping up the TED, and, like, they used his TED Talks as the examples of, you know, what TED could be, and, like, the best of the best. This is our sort of, like, ad reel, is Elon's shit. And she was like, now I really don't like that I worked on those. And I'm like, but part of it was, like, that he had done 5, and I'm like, you did all 5, though. And the really funny thing is that the person who was saying this was the same person who, when Ned Try from the Try Guys got canceled for cheating on his wife was the one who was like, it's really bad that we put these men up on a pedestal and have our parasocial relationships where we think that their relationships are perfect when they're not. What we should do is instead do that to Justin McElroy, because he is a good boy. And I'm like, it's you. You're back.
Oh.
Yo, Joe, one thing that's been happening a lot, because like Twitter, it's unclear what the fate of Twitter is. So a lot of people are trying to find an alternative. And one thing they're trying to do is there's, what I understand, there's this video game called Mastodon. I think it's something like Team Fortress 2 because you got to join a server.
So the issue is, Tom and I were doing some deep research on Mastodon, for Sickos, because, this Twitter shit might not be long for this world. And the disagreement Tom and I have is that I want to join a PvP server and he wants to do a PvE server.
Yeah.
And if we're not on the same server, we can't raid together. So, like, what's the fucking point?
Yeah. It's just, this is something that I have to confess. I'm not very good at competitive games. Like, I played a lot of Team Fortress 2 in college. And, like, no matter what server I joined, I was never very good at it. I never got better. And it's kind of discouraging. I like a co-op game more than a competitive game. But, Joe's got to have his frags. You know how it is.
I need to know I beat a human being. I can't settle for just an AI.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. It's just not for me. It's a shame, though. I don't know, though, if Mastodon lets you have builds. Like, are there a lot of classes on Mastodon? Are the classes robust? Is there synergy?
The meta is really weird right now. So they call Synergy Federation, which is like a fun little Mastodon thing.
Okay.
And as far as I can tell, how the meta works is you sign up for a Mastodon account so you can begin playing this game.
Yeah.
And then you never fucking played because what is this?
Yeah, and if you DM someone and you're complaining about them, they see it, and then the head of the server defederates you, and you lose all your levels.
Like, I don't know what defederate means, but I'm scared.
Joe, to sort of break the conceit that we think Mastodon is a video game, just the idea that there's a social network where before you sign up, you have to read a post that says, it's actually not that complicated. Just look at my guide. It's like, don't you know? If you have to say it's actually not that complicated, it's too complicated. Like, you shouldn't even have to hedge.
Because you're trying to head something off at the pass. In this case, that it's incredibly complicated.
Yeah. I mean, and even though technically it really isn't, like, I've looked into it and like, I kind of get it. And it's not that complicated. However, it's too complicated. Like, there should be zero complications. And even though I am capable of understanding the complications, I refuse to do so because it is homework. I do not wish to do it.
It is clearly made for a techie type user, and that means Joyce Carol Oates will never fucking be on there.
It's funny that you say Joyce Carol Oates because I have a Mastodon-related Elon post that Joyce Carol Oates would be so fucking proud of because it is, I made fun of him for being a Reddit guy whose only jokes are stuff that he's seen other people make years ago, but this is a joke he made himself, and it's, whoa, buddy, stick to memes. It is. If you don't like Twitter anymore, there is an awesome site called Masturbate. Now, he has spelled masturbate with an E instead of a U. Whatever. People do that. It's weird that there's a U. Why would there be a U? It's not usually a U in a place like that. But whatever. Masturbate. However, he has put an E at the end. So the fact that he's trying to say that Mastodon is masturbate Don does not come across. So when I first read this, it gave me like Voynich manuscript vibes where I'm just like, I cannot glean any meaning from these fucking symbols. What is masturbate done? It's when you're done masturbating. What? And what the fucking image is apparently Paul Krugman, the economist, is posting on Mastodon, and they're all him going, test, is this working? Test. I'm going to try on Twitter now, test. And he has taken a photo of his screen showing this. Not a screenshot. He took his phone out and took a picture of the screen. This is a tech guy. This is a tech genius. He took a picture of the screen. You can see his fucking looming reflection. And the screen, Joe, is so Joyce Carol Oates, again, would be proud. This screen plus her keyboard makes the disgustingest laptop that has ever been. It's fucking filthy. Have you seen this?
No, and I demand you link me. It looks like it's covered in stars.
I mean, you know what it looks like? It looks like my bathroom mirror when I'm brushing my teeth with the electric toothbrush, and I accidentally take the toothbrush out of my mouth while it's still going, and it puts a billion little toothpaste dots on the mirror. Well, think about that is when I do that, I fucking clean it. Elon does not. It looks awful. And Joe, again, this
took this picture with the second phone.
I think this is his laptop.
Oh.
I mean, but even so, like, don't you know that there's a print screen button on your keyboard? Don't you know there's a snipping tool? Like, you don't have to take a... You don't have to take it's hard to read like what he's trying to show, because like there's the glare from the window behind him, and like your eye is drawn to the silhouette of the human form, because that's how fucking human brains work. So I'm looking at that, I'm like, why is there this disgusting ghost in this awful fucking screen? And Joe, to prove that he is very funny and is not angry and not upset by everyone saying that this is stupid and weird and has a gross screen, he replies with, "Gee, I wonder why the screen is so dirty, ... He...
What is it? Is it because is he nutting on it? What does it mean?
I mean, there's no explanation other than that he's saying, hey, everybody, I nutted on the screen and rubbed it all over.
That can't be the intended message. There's no way. I, of course, read it like that, and I can not entertain any other explanation, but there's no way that was...
I mean, what else could it be? Because, I mean, what he just posted, the entire joke is masked. Oh, where have I heard masked before? Masturbate.
You're saying the joke is he just took a picture of a cum tribute to make the pun extra... Like, that's what you're saying to me.
I mean, when I first saw this, before I realized that masturbate done was supposed to be a Mastodon gag, and I don't know what the Mastodon UI is, so I don't know. I'm looking at these Paul Krugman posts, and I don't know that this is a picture of Mastodon. And I think what I get from this is I bust to Paul Krugman posts.
and specifically the Mastodon ones where he's just like doing test.
I wonder why the screen, I wonder why the screen is so dirty. He thinks that he's doing something, he's being really clever here, and people are going to be like, damn, you showed those people who were trying to dunk on you, you showed them. But like, what could the possible reading be other than that I bust to Paul Krugman on Mastodon? It makes me horny, and I bust right on the screen, and I took a picture of it for you.
That was nice of him to share.
Yeah. And this is actually very funny because that same day, he was clearly on one. He thought that he had hit a rich vein of comedy and was going to try his hand at original content. So he was like, this is a good, like, I'm really on it here. So he just posted, what do you call someone who is a master at baiting?
We're really doing that? That's like elementary shit where it's like, are you PT? And they're like, you're like, no. They're like, you're not potty trained. And if you say yes, they'll be like, oh, you're a pregnant teacher.
Dude, that is fucking right on. Everything he says is like, and this is what's so devastating about him being our big villain, our big rival, is that
he'll win in the end, always. That's something we also have to state clearly at this point, is that he will be victorious in the end. He will somehow socialize all of the losses that he's experiencing. I don't know what machinations need to occur for that to happen, but they
will happen
manifest.
automatically. Yeah,
They will manifest.
It's true, but like he's our like final boss of posting, and there's nothing interesting about him. Again, there's no unique core. Everything that he does and says is shit that I have seen 1,000 times before in my entire life. All from the dumbest, stupidest, most tiresome fucking fools I've ever seen. Everything that he's done has been, like, all of his ideas for, like, Twitter are things that idiots have been proposing for years that they haven't done because they're idiotic ideas that won't work. And if you think through them for a fucking second with a clear mind, not one that is preoccupied with shadow banning above all else, you can clearly see that these are stupid fucking things. This is a man who he thinks that he is a business genius. He thinks he is an innovator maverick, and like he is so sure that when he gets up on the stage and says, "Hello, everybody," for years, airplanes have contained an indestructible black box, whereas the plane itself can be destroyed in a crash. Which is, I will create the entire plane out of the black box, and like he thinks that everyone's just going to be like, yeah, and it's like
the most recent example of him doing that was when he was like, yes, and then the Cybertruck will be amphibious, where it will cross rivers and maybe some seas.
Yes. It was just like, you can't just. This is the idiot's brain, where you think that these things that you think up, no one has thought up before. Just the fact that it doesn't exist can only mean no one was smart enough to do it, not that it can't or shouldn't exist. And I really hope that him actually getting to build the fucking plane out of the black box here takes the shine off of his reputation, because like you can be a fucking moron and make the plane out of the black box at Tesla, with the Hyperloop, with the fucking Cybertruck, with the fucking tunnel under Las Vegas, whatever, and that won't ever affect him, because these are all projects, and like going to Mars, these are all projects that have such a long timeline that by the time we're at a point in the timeline, we're like, shouldn't something have happened by now? And like,
let's just break it out, the Mars stuff for a minute. It's like everything that has happened, this is the guy you want to be making the preparations for your launch into space.
Yeah, like what happens when you're in space, you're on your like SpaceX Mars colony, and like you say that he's not epic, and like you say that his posts are bad, and that you think you do what is in his mind an attack on free speech. Like he's gonna like what? I don't want that. I don't want the guy in charge of my fucking Mars colony, where everything needs to be working or else I die in a fucking vacuum, to be like, hey, hello everybody, we're going to be doing a lot of dumb shit with the Mars colony in the coming months. Like, oh no. But like, I would say like the long-term shit, like by the time you realize, oh, this was all fake, people have forgotten about it. But like the Twitter shit is every day. Like you can see it so clearly, because like every day there's 3 new developments in him being like I said just today, they took Twitter Blue away. There's the fake accounts.
It was Twitter
were too
Gray.
Funny. It was Twitter Gray. And that's another thing. The fucking in night mode, the blue checks are actually white, but then earlier today they were blue even on night mode. But then when I refreshed a couple minutes ago, they're back to being white. This shit's fucked up.
They should be blue from a communication perspective if your stupid offering is called Twitter Blue. And because everyone uses dark mode, they should
only
at
girls,
least.
Only girls don't use dark mode.
That's something me and my wife, I just don't understand. She refuses to use dark mode. And it's frankly a betrayal.
Yeah. Girls love staring directly into a light bulb.
Yeah.
What a fucker. I hate this guy. The whole thing was, we don't need advertisers. It doesn't matter that we're scaring them away. because Twitter Blue and subscription is going to be what keeps us afloat. And then Twitter Blue is so bad that they take it away. You can't, like, if I wanted to sign up, I'm on Twitter right now. How do I do it? I can't do it.
He made a big deal about shipping this feature in a week. That was when he was like, it ships in a week or you're all fired. And I don't know if that was after he fired everyone.
Who's staying? Who's staying, by the way? Like, what kind of a guy do you have to be? There can't be anyone at Twitter who thinks that, like, finding a new job would be that hard, right? I mean, they're all, like, tech people. Also, being a Twitter refugee, I gotta imagine, is, like, kind of a feather in your cap for, like, finding a new job, because, like...
People are gonna bring you in for an interview to be like, so, how was it?
Exactly. And, like, when you join your new team, you're gonna be, like, a celebrity. It's like, oh, tell me about the fucking freak. Like, who's sticking around? And this is why, you know, when Taylor was talking about how he actually really likes how Twitter is now and it's fun, and he's right. But I was like, the thing that's giving me a sinking sensation is a very logistical thing, which is I am afraid that when the site breaks, which all sites break, when the site breaks, there's always been outages. But when the next outage comes, there's going to be like 3 engineers who are still employed at Twitter, and they're not going to be able to get it back up. Like, that's my fear. That's how I see the website going down. Not a mass exodus of users, not like, oh, it just goes away. I mean just a routine error occurs and there is no routine fixing because there's not anyone who knows how.
Look, every tech company has some institutional knowledge that is stored in one guy that can never be fired.
Dude, there was in my job, this is very brief. In my job, there was a guy with all the institutional knowledge about the tool we use. He was the guy, like, he could have written 100 pages of documentation based on the shit that he only knew that we constantly were asking him about. And then he got a transfer to a new part of the company, and we got an email, and it's like, you are no longer allowed to ask him about these things because that is not in his job description. And buddy, the amount of things we just can't do now because we can't ask him is hilarious.
So the other department said the worms must not bother this new guy. Our team is special now with him, and you must not bother us.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, institutional knowledge in a guy's head. Every company has this.
So there's got to be some of that happening at Twitter. I mean, it just is. That's how it is. I'm also reminded of, remember when Facebook had that weird outage and they couldn't even open their doors because their system was stupid or whatever? That happened at Facebook with like a full staff or whatever. We're going to see things like that with no staff.
Jesus Christ. It's so bad.
You are describing Twitter breaking as it going down, which is obviously an outage and for sure breaking. But, like, there's weird shit happening now where I can see protected tweets that I should not be seeing. And, like, people can retweet things that they should not be able to retweet because they're protected. So you can, like, the holes are forming and water is seeping in.
Mm-hmm. People who are, like, security people are like, hey, everybody, just so you know, I would delete your DMs right now if I were you. And I understand that DMs, and I understand that privacy is an inherent, good. Like, you should be concerned about your privacy no matter what, even if you don't have anything to hide.
Can you imagine if people got our DMs and found out how funny we were?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, our DMs is anime sickos. Like we fucking put out our DMs.
Yeah, there's nothing horny
on purpose. Yeah, what are people DMing? Like, oh my god, are they be doing porn out there? I just am scrolling and I found some more incredible fake impersonations of brands doing hilarious posts. This one's from Nintendo of Europe. Again, it looks so real.
I know this one. This one I like better than the other one.
This is Shadow the Hedgehog saying, white people be watching porn with condoms on.
Yes. Yeah. I think that specific post after our conversation with Taylor was like really the turning point for my brain. I'm like, okay, I really need to appreciate what's in front of me.
This one's fuck. This one is from the Roblox account. This is real. I can tell because it's got a verified check mark. So Roblox really said this. We're adding sex to Roblox.
There's also the fact that Elon is like CEO of 3 companies, right? How many?
He's CEO of, I believe, Tesla, Neuralink, SpaceX, The Boring Company, and Twitter.
Right. So, like, you see how that doesn't work out math-wise for for working hours? Like,
Yeah.
how there's only 24 hours in a day?
So let's think this through. There's 24 hours in a day. He's Tesla, SpaceX, Boring Company, Neuralink, and Twitter. That's 5?
Let's fully accept that he will not sleep because he's on the eat one almond, never sleep diet. That's fine.
So 24 hours a day, 5 companies he's the CEO of. He's possibly CEO of more than I'm forgetting. That means that he has less than 5 hours a day to work on any of his full-time jobs, which, if you look at his policies, is a fireable offense. He needs to be doing at least 40 hours a week in office at all 5 offices. I don't think you can do that.
No. And he also posted his Elden Ring build, which was shitty.
Dude, you could not. I'm
Like,
not
I
like a
didn't-
min-maxer.
I haven't even played the game, but just my gamer instinct saw those numbers and was like, oh no, I have to confirm with Tom that this is wrong.
I'm no min-maxer, okay? I don't do theory build. I just go by my gut, when I'm making these builds. And I notice, late game, that, like, this build is not optimal. But, oh well, it's functional. So you can equip numerous things on your left and right hand. You can only hold one at a time, but you can swap between them quickly. If you have 3 things assigned to your right hand, you can, you're holding your sword, but then you can also swap to an axe and then swap to a wand. You can do it really easily because you have all 3 equipped, and you don't have to open the menu, which you can't do during combat because you'll get killed because it doesn't stop the game. Yeah. So you're gonna want to have a lot of things equipped if they're things you're gonna be using. However, everything you have equipped adds to your weight load, and your weight load, if you don't have enough endurance or stamina or whatever they call it in the game, if you are holding too much, you move insanely slowly, and your dodge roll, which is, let's be real, the most critical move in the entire game, moves at a comically slow pace and does not work at all.
It's like the Arrested Development Tobias thing where he rolls up on the stage in like the slowest way.
Yes. The fact that you're even capable of dodge rolling at all is like a joke. Like what the game is really saying is like, oh, hey, just so you know, you can't play the game this way. You are incapable of playing.
You are encumbered, sir.
Exactly. So he was massively encumbered, and partly was because on his left hand, he had equipped 2 shields. Now, Joey, I mentioned that you can swap between the things that are equipped on your hands without having to open the menu. Usually, it's so that if situations change, you can use a tool that is more equipped to the current situation. There is no situation in which one shield is more good than a second shield. You only need 1 fucking shield. He had equipped both. Don't equip 2 shields. What?
Can you dual wield them?
I think if you have a shield in each hand, but they were both on the left hand.
So he can't roll. He's moving very slow. Likes carrying huge chunks of metal for no reason.
Yep.
And he posted this, not long after Elden Ring came out, which he was still CEO of 100 companies.
Yeah, it's a 100-hour game. Like, it's hard. It's hard for someone with 1 full-time job and any other, family obligations to find time to play Elden Ring to completion, to get a high enough level that he was at. But he's the CEO. He does the most work, and also he has like 10 kids who have fake names. They're all named like Cyberman and fucking
They're all named after robot masters.
Yeah.
You got Iceman. You got Gutsman. You got Cutman.
Here's what happens every time Elon Musk makes a new baby. He goes up to his his mating partner at the time, and I use the disgusting term because I believe that is how he would see it. And he says we're adding sex to Roblox, and then he makes a new little Musk. I hate this fucker so much. He's so dumb. I hope that he does end it all. Sicko mode, sicko mode, sicko mode. 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 I don't want to talk about that horrible man anymore. I think we've got to eulogize Twitter and posting in general, because it might not be going away. It might stick around, but it might go away. And I think, we each talk shit about it, obviously. We talk shit about how much we hate it, and posts are bad. But, I love posting.
Posting is the best way to interact with the internet. TikTok is videos. Do not show me a video of someone talking to me. I will think I'm being attacked. Instagram is too image driven. You do not make jokes on Instagram. Maybe you take a picture of something funny, but you're not actually fucking joking it up.
I think that's very telling that when a joke goes big on Instagram, it is most often a screenshot of a tweet.
Yes. Former guest Dr. Devin Price has definitely sent me links to Tumblr of my Marie Kondo sword tweet being used to contextualize a fate stay thing I don't get.
It's contextualizing Unlimited Blade Works, which is the local phantasm of Shiro in an alternate timeline where he turns into a badass guy.
Instead of being whiny.
Yeah, in order to activate Unlimited Blade Works, he has to say this little fucking poem in English, and they did not get a actor who can speak English good. And so when he does this fucking chant, it is the funny. It sounds so fucked, Joe.
Like a baby's doing it?
Yeah, I know we said we were going to wrap this up, but I got to share my screen and play the Unlimited Blade Works speech for you.
I am the bone of my sword. Steel is my body, and fire is my blood.
Yes.
I have created over 1,000 blades, unknown to death, not known to life.
He has sword wings.
Have withstood pain to create many weapons. Yet, those hands will never hold anything. So, as I pray, Unlimited Blade Works.
Yeah, I just got to show you that.
That's pretty good.
Anyway, the point being, ain't no other social network that lets you write a little joke.
No. I mean, Facebook lets you do text posts, but it's a den of jackals. Like, everyone in there is rabid. Facebook is not really a place that seems conducive to what we want.
Like, what we want is, a good analogy would be like our favorite sandwich shop is closing down, and everywhere around is like, we got Italian restaurants, we got Chinese restaurants, but there's no, well, we want a sandwich shop. And someone's like, well, I heard that if you dig around in the dump, you can find some old bread. And it's like, no.
Yeah.
No.
There is nothing text driven.
Yeah. I'm never going to go on TikTok because I do not want my phone to make sound ever, period. So that's out. I'm not going to go on Instagram because I never take pictures, and I'm not going to start. I'm not going to go on Tumblr because I don't understand how Tumblr works. And also, I don't understand how you see new things on Tumblr. That's the thing about Twitter, is that like all of my friends and also a lot of weird creeps who I don't know show up with incredible posts, and I'm just blown away. Like, okay, I cannot think of another way throughout human history. There's no other medium by which I would know about Joyce Carol Oates not liking Halloween because she believes that skeleton decorations prove that you don't respect death.
Yeah, this is a unique line of sight offering.
Yes. You were talking about this before, that you're afraid that this direct line of sight will be forgotten.
Yeah.
This is an evolution of Tubinet. You need to remember these things.
Right. Like, we've said this before on the show, but one of the charms of Twitter is you get to see supposed experts just like really just chunk it or say like dumb, out of touch stuff. Mm-hmm. And for that reason, and you could respond to them and, you know, laugh at their foibles, I think it's going away for good, and there will not be an equivalent replacement. Like, if there is a text-driven alternative that somehow picks up the same momentum that Twitter had, I do not believe you'll be able to meaningfully interact with people who would be like verified before, like the elite.
Mm-hmm. And like, it's so critical. Like, the fact that Elon Musk's entire fortune and the valuation of all his companies is sort of buoyed by his public image as like a super genius, and he's exposing himself as a super dummy. Like, it is a very valuable asset for these people that they have this veneer of like, I'm smart, I am an elite, I do know what I'm talking about. That is why I have this elevated station in life, because I have an elevated offering to give that other people can't. And we see, oh no, they don't. Like, they're actually dumber than everyone I know. That's the thing. Like, on Twitter, I've met so many people who, like, I know like 100 people who I met on Twitter who I believe would be, if they were given what they need, could be like a generational talent in what they do. Like a figure that is, it'd be go too far to say like a David Bowie figure. Obviously, David Bowie's really fucking good, but like a figure like a Titanic figure, someone who like, this person is great. Wow, like a real incredible talent, amazing. I know so many fucking people like that, and everyone who is rich and famous is lower than a dog to me.
They don't have it, and by it, I mean posting.
They don't have it. And the only way that I'm able to see how low and pathetic these people are is because of Twitter, because we have this big toilet where everyone puts their head in and licks, and you can look across the rim and see fucking Joyce Carol Oates licking the toilet, and you see her laptop, and you're like, "Buh, Joyce, what the fuck?" And then all of your friends hoot and holler because they're at the toilet too.
Yeah.
Toilet might be going away.
It might be going away.
What are we gonna do? What are we gonna talk about? If
I don't
no toilet?
fucking know. Like, we really hinged on there being posting.
Yeah.
And if the main venue of it goes away, do we have to think of a new pillar, or do we make it a triangle?
Oh Lord, I don't fucking know. The posting.
We should just go to GameFAQs. We should just find a GameFAQs, because every game on that fucking site has its own message board. So just find something that is not touched. You know, just like the Widget game from the regular Nintendo. Remember Widget, that pink freak?
No, but sure.
Okay, maybe he's gray. I don't know. I'm fucking colorblind. And we just set up shop there. Like, it's Twitter now. All the cool kids are on the Widget for NES message board.
Why not? Hell yeah. I mean, we have our Discord, but Discord's not posting.
No, Discord is chatting, and that is something we need to be very clear about. A post is like a little thing you arrange, and then you set it off like a firework. It is not an exchange like chatting is.
There's a reason that there are DMs in Twitter, because people want to chat, and that is not what the site is for. The site is for posts. And the other thing, like when you go on Discord and you haven't logged on for like a week, it's unusable. It's just useless data being pointed at you. It's like, hello, would you like to see 10,000 fucking posts? We're going to show you the end of the conversation. You don't know what the fuck anyone's on about, so this is going to be useless to you. You're going to have to scroll back an undefined amount to get any context. I'm like, I'm sure not going to fucking do that. With Twitter, you just like, here's some fucking posts. You don't need the context because they're posts. The context is the post.
And I know everyone complained, and rightfully, that they were taking away show tweets in order, but like, you don't need them in order. It's just a hose of shit.
Yeah. Like, I don't, you know what it is? It's the toilet swirling to the left versus to the right. It doesn't matter.
Yes. Will we have a toilet in, I don't know, 2 months, 3 months? I will say the rate at which things declined, like the public fallout and of all the mistakes at Twitter, was faster than my even cynical expectations.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know. I sure hope there is, because people like us on Twitter. That's how they say Anime Sickos podcast.
They do say that. I like when they do that. I actually just refreshed the page, and there's a new Elon Musk tweet. The awesome irony of the situation is that the media writing about Twitter / me failing nonstop is driving massive growth in Twitter.
All the shit in my pants is driving great new results.
Also, when you're talking about growth, you're talking about the growth of the user base, which is the opposite of what you want, because it's adding strain on the product that you have fired the upkeep for.
Yeah, I mean, he's in a position where, like, even if he did achieve what he wanted, and he, like, has a massive explosion of users, it's very likely that success would cause it all to break.
Yep. Well, for all I've complained, I do gotta say, I have gotten a lot out of posting and Twitter. That's how I've achieved my measure of artistic success, such as it is.
I just need to look at dumb shit and say dumb things, and Twitter is the perfect outlet for that. And there's no equivalent in my sight yet, other than just texting you, which was the game before.
Man, I remember you put your name in that like AI tweet generator the other day, and it made some great fucking posts. It was like, I'm making bacon. I ate bacon for the morning. Now I'm starving. Ariel is trying to kill me. I think the cats are acting weird. And I'm just like, God, that's the good stuff. Like, that actually, I'm loving this.
Yeah.
That's the
kind it really made me feel dull. All those tweets. There was one of them that was very like cog friendly that I was like clearly excited about working, that I took issue with.
Oh, it was, I love Fridays because you can tell that there's going to be 8 days in a row with no meetings. And I'm like, what? That's not how it works. But I like no meetings. Actually, you think that yours was dull? Dude, mine was, so it gives you 9 AI generated tweets. I'll read you all of mine. The first 8 are like inspirational poster business quotes, which I have no fucking idea where it derived these. Number 1, the way to make someone trust you is by letting them see you fail. Number 2, if you don't understand the present, you don't understand history. Number 3, the greater your success in business, the harder it is to keep your personal life in order. Number
Why
4,
does it think you speak in aphorisms?
I don't know. It's very funny, but wait, it makes the punchline all the better. Number 4, our culture has forgotten how to thrive. Number 5, the more money you make, the more you owe. Number 6, success is a journey, not a destination. Number 7, if you can't be held accountable, you're not ready to be a leader. Number 8, a 24-hour clock measures time, but a minute hand is arbitrary. That one doesn't make a lot of sense. We're starting to get off kilter.
Yeah.
It's like, what's going on here?
It sounds smart if you don't unpack it.
And then, Joe, Oh, the kicker. Things will go bad. You will struggle. You will fail. You will fall. You will burn. You will break. You will fall. You will burn. You will break. You will fall. You will burn. You will break. You will fall. You will burn. You will break. You will fall. You will burn. You will break. You will fall. You will burn. You will break. You will fall. You will burn. I read exactly. I didn't add any repetitions.
Oh my god. Like, so that was all of the posting that relates to the machine will have blood. Like, that was it being concentrated.
That was the real me coming out.
Yeah. Good lord.
Oh my god. Oh, fuck. This one is from the... We were trying to wrap up, but this is just... I'm going to say this and then we'll end, okay? This is one of the AI-generated tweets from the Anime Sickos account, which was hilarious. Most of them were about us apologizing for taking a break.
Yes, which I enjoyed. That is what we are, which are worms that are like, I'm sorry.
But this one is so good because I guarantee none of this shit ever got said on our account. It begins with, "Hi, I am Joe." Well, that never happens because I post as the Sickos account.
Swing and a miss.
Hello, I am Joe. I am the co-host of Anime Sickos. I post here sometimes. You are probably here because you followed a link or saw an ad. This is me, the co-host of Anime Sickos. I am probably here because you followed a link or saw an ad.
An ad.
It's so nice they said it twice. We've never had an ad.
Remember when we tried to do Google search advertising on like certain keywords, and we're stupid, dude.
We threw money in the fucking hole.
Yeah, it would have been way more satisfying to physically have thrown real money into a hole.
Yeah, that you had dug.
Yeah,
you know, I heard there's a guy in Chicago who likes digging holes.
He doesn't even use a shovel. It's all by sheer tenacity.
Oh, folks, that's all the time we got for Anime Sickos today. This is a mega episode for a mega topic, but hope you liked it.
Have a good one.
I've been Tom, Anime Sicko.
I've been Joe, and Anime Sicko.
Bye-bye. Oh, shit. Doja Cat, the rapper, back when they made it so that you couldn't change your display name when you were verified, so that you couldn't do any gags, her display name was Christmas. And she says, "I don't want to be Christmas forever. Elon Musk, please help. I've made a mistake." Because he is a horny clout chaser, he responded to her directly and said, "You should be able to change your name now." She changes her display name to Elon Musk and puts her avatar as that picture of him with Peter Thiel founding PayPal where he has no hair, and replies, "Thank you." That's all the time we have for Anime Sickos. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Oh, shit. Oh, Joe, stop recording. Thank you for listening to Anime Sickos. I've been Tom, a sicko. You can follow me on Twitter at TomHarrison19. Joe is also a sicko. You can follow him on Twitter at Sharia Uncle. You can follow Anime Sickos on Twitter at Anime Sickos, or email us at animesickos@gmail.com. Please leave us a review or something. I don't know. Tell a friend. Anyway, until next time, bye.